The National Vice Chairman, Northwest of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Garba Dati, has called on former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, to dismiss any possible plans to run for the office of President during the 2027 general election. Dati made the call in an open letter on Tuesday. Now, in the same letter, he also appealed to a former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to reconcile with and return to the ruling party. He advised Atiku to borrow a lift from another former vice president, Namadi Sambo, who has not been actively involved in partisan politics since leaving office in 2015, added that Atiku should do better to remain a statesman rather than wasting his time and resources to contest again in 2027. Rise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to examine just why a political opponent should genuinely be concerned about the political future of the former vice president. It's good to have you with us, Mr. Sobowale.
Yeah, it's a pleasure of being here as usual.
Very good. So you've heard that little intro, and of course we'll be wondering how someone from the opposition seems to be calling out on these issues regarding former Vice President Atiku, advising him to perhaps shelve the idea of running again for president. So how apt is all of this? What are your thoughts?
You can see it's more of a personal advice than a political one. Because as a political opponent, if your opponents are making mistakes, you should be clapping for them so that you have an opportunity to look reasonable before the electorate. I think it's an advice, because you wrote it. It's not. I was going to say an advice made in jest, but it's a written advice, so that should be taken seriously. You see, let's look at the lighter side of it. Maybe he's trying to make fun of an elder statesman he knows so well.
Yeah.
On the other side, he could be offering serious advice, like a younger person to an older person. And on the other side, it could just be a way of getting him out of the way so that the APC candidate can claim the presidency 2027. So I don't know which one you want us to look at now. Okay, let's look at it like a serious advice.
Yeah.
As a serious advice, he said by 2027, Atiku will be 80. The current president who will by then be 75.
Yes.
You remember the oldest president we ever had, Buhari, came in at 72. So age, health permitting, there's nothing wrong with one, contest at 80. I don't see anything wrong in that. Because experience, human experience, positive human experience, should be able to guide and help leadership and development. Because there is the other side to youth. If you insist on youth, there is the exuberance of youth. Yeah. There is inexperience. There is that audacity, literally, to do things your way when you are still young, because you think you have a long time still ahead of you. But then, look at what he told the former governor of Kaduna State. That was good advice, good, honest advice, in my view. Because he said, you have to start this party. Why do you leave it for a smaller party?
Yeah.
That you should find your way back. That's honest advice. Because if I remember, the former governor was influential in making sure that the former president didn't stop a candidate of his own party from getting the nomination or even contesting the election or even winning the election. I don't want to go into that history again. But it's a man I admire because he was the one who went to court. Was the one who went to court on the currency issue, and the Supreme Court ruled, and of course the party won.
Yeah.
So I will still think if you can find this way back, that's honest advice from the person who gave this advice. Yeah. That's honest advice. Now, see, on the other hand, you can look at the advice to Atiku as quite extravagant, uncalled for. What is your own business in that? It is my life, it is my ambition. And if the way I say Atiku is more alert and more active, both mentally and physically, than most young people of his age. You see the way he has taken up this government. It's like we are in a parliamentary democracy, like the issue between the British Prime Minister and the Nigerian-born leader of the Tory party. If you watch it everywhere, at question time. So I think the way I see Atiku, if it's in the frame of mind and good health to want to contest. Anyway, the primaries is the party that will select him from the primaries. So if the party selects him, that's nobody's business, especially somebody not in the same party with him.
Yeah. Well said, Mr. Sobowale. I appreciate all the angles that you came from for the possibility of what he meant by these. But let's talk about the timing of these comments. There's some suggestion that it's indicative of APC being concerned about the specific policy failures that might have occurred. Is this an admission whatsoever that they're concerned about the failures of their policies? Indirectly?
I don't see that.
Okay.
I don't see the connection.
The connection says that they might be worried about 2027. You know, that was one of the angles that you presented. So they're saying that this suggests internal APC concerns about specific policy failures that might come back to bite them in 2027.
No way. I don't see any connection between that and APC policy failure. This man is a vice national chairman representing Northwest. So he has the right to say what he has said. He has not spoken about policy failure. It's offering advice to a political opponent. You can say it is extravagant, but you cannot say it is not pertinent. It is honest advice given. And I think it is up to Atiku to decide what he has to do. I don't think this is a criticism of government in any way at all.
All right.
Next question.
Very good, Mr. Sobowale. Briefly, fine, but we have to take it into context, serious context now.
Yeah.
The viability of, the PDP as apart from being an opposition party, making headway in the next general elections, it has its own internal squabbles every now and then. The issue of the Wike, Atiku feud is still there, and it's still lingering. So even some pundits have argued, why don't you just do away with these 2 or 3 individuals, who are causing, then have fresh people come in? Is it fathomable to have that kind of scenario come into play? Perhaps that will push.
Is it fathomable to have that sort of scenario and still contest? That's right. We have discussed this several times. Yeah. That Atiku should put his house in order. That's the party. Yeah. And face the Wike menace, which is literal. It's like I call it the Trojan horse. Yeah. You get me? In the compound of the PDP. And until and unless they remove that, I don't see their viability in taking on APC successfully in 2027. Unless, and of course, they want to dissolve the PDP and form a new thing so that they leave it to Wike and whoever are there. Which is not, you can't imagine that happening. Yeah. You can't imagine, because see, the PDP is a party made up of strong Nigerians who have money, who have influence, who've been in government before, and who have the resources to put their house in order. But how they have allowed the Wike menace, that's what I call it, how they have allowed it and allowed it to become the elephant in the room, I still can't fathom it. I still can't fathom it. And I think Atiku is a far, far wiser politician than what we are seeing with regard to this Wike issue.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Sobowale, many thanks for your time and analysis. We appreciate your time.